Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a truly terrible day of weather again here in the UK, or at least in my part of the UK in Surrey. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's practically dark, but there is a lot more colour in this Sudoku, which looks glorious. We've had this recommended umpteen times recently. It's called Six Hit Wonder. It's by ChinStrap and Marty Sears, and it's fog of war with some stuff going on outside the grid as well. And I had a quick look at the rules. I didn't fully understand them, but I will, when we read them more slowly and in a considered way together in a moment or two's time, I'm sure they will sink in, and we'll get stuck in to trying to solve the puzzle. Now, what can I tell you about before we do that? I will mention that at 10 o'clock this morning UK time, we did release this bonus video, which is my completion of the day, if you like, on the Blueprints mansion. So Mark and I, we stopped streaming at about 10 past midnight after streaming on Monday evening, and then I finished the day, but it took a long time to finish the day, and that video's gone live on the channel. So if any of you have been following our adventures in that mansion, you might want to check that video out. What else is going on? We've got a brand new competition starting on the 1st of December. That'll go live at 4 p.m. UK time on the 1st, so get ready for that. It's incoming soon on Patreon. Do join us over there if you're not patrons already. It's where we put a lot of extra content, and to all those of you who support us over there, thank you so much for doing that. It keeps the channel going. And what else have I got to tell you about? Let's do, well, I know I should say happy Thanksgiving, of course, shouldn't I? Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all those of you over there on the other side of the pond. I hope you're having a what do you have on? Is it turkey on Thanksgiving, or is it that is it that thing where they cook lots of different meats? Oh, what's it called? It's like a duck and then a turkey and then it's called something. It's a crossword word. A turducken. It's a turducken. That's what it is. It's a turducken. Do you have turducken? Is that on Thanksgiving? It might be. Anyway, I've got distracted. I shouldn't think about turduckens, if indeed that is the word. But I did want to say happy Thanksgiving. I will also say that I had an email from Shy, and Shy wanted me actually to wish husband Ahmad a very happy birthday, and that's what I'm here to do. I think the two of you got married last month, so huge congratulations on the 18th of October wedding. I know that Shy is better at the word puzzles, but Ahmad, I think, excels at Sudoku, and Shy loves you very much, Ahmad, and hopes you like the shout out, as do I. I hope the chocolate cake is suitably well iced and very enjoyable today. That's all the news, I think. I feel like I've forgotten something, but let's have a look at Six Hit Wonder. Now, I found this on Logic Masters. It's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so it's probably not a total walk in the park, but let's see. We'll read the rules together and see how we get on. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Fog. Entering correct digits may clear the fog somewhere in the grid. No guessing is necessary. So this is dynamic fog then today. So that means if we got this digit, it might clear the fog from there. You just don't know. It doesn't even say it's going to clear the fog from the cell where you enter the digit. So we're going to have to be careful today. Then we have got something called a hit circle. Hit circles. All circles are outside the grid, and each must be filled with a digit. This digit indicates how many digits in its row or column match their distance from the circle. E.g., if a row with a circle at its left hand, let's use this row then, I can't put these digits in case it clears fog. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 7, 8, 6. Right, so if we filled in the row like that, then all of the digits except 6 and 9 match their distance from the circle. Yes, okay, so this 2 is 2 cells away. Okay, that 3 is 3 cells away, right. So the circle would contain a 7 is what we're being told. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the 6 and the 9 have sort of swapped positions. I sort of understand that. Okay, that's a good thing. The example was helpful there. Counting circles. A digit in a circle also indicates how many times that digit appears in a circle. Right, so if that was a 4, again I better not put it in case it does turn out to be a 4. If that's a 4, you'd have to put 4 4s in circles. If it's a 3, you'd have to put 3 3s in circles. If it's an 8, you'd have to put 8 8s in circles, etc. German whisper lines. Adjacent digits on a green line have a difference of at least 5. So if this cell's a 1, this cell has to be at least 6 in order to be sufficiently different from the digit 1. It could be 6, 7, 8 or 9. And that's how German whispers work. Entropic lines. Any 3 adjacent digits along a hollow peach line must contain 1 digit from 1, 2, 3, 1 digit from 4, 5, 6, and 1 digit from 7, 8, 9. So I don't even know if I can draw a peach line. I mean, let's pretend that's a peach line. So if this was an entropic line, one of these digits would be a 1, 2, 3, one of them would be a 4, 5, 6, and one of them would be a 7, 8, 9. That's how entropic lines work. Oh, equal split lines. Small white dots divide stripy blue lines into at least 2 segments, with the digits on each segment having the same total. Oh goodness me. So this is a stripy blue line. So let's draw. So this isn't saying box borders divide the line. It's actually some sort of white dot. I don't know if I can put a... Can I do a white dot? Yeah, now are these dots going to be on the boundaries of cells, or are they going to be in the middle of cells? I think they might end up being on the... Yeah, because imagine there was a white dot where my cursor's moving then. That might be saying, if that was the only white dot in the line, it would be saying those 2 cells, you add them up, and they would sum to the same as those 3 cells, if there was a white dot between those 2 colours. I'm not sure. I think we'll have to uncover the fog to know for sure. And there's only one more rule. If a black dot sits between 2 digits, then one is double the other. We can't see any of those. So imagine there was a black dot between these 2 cells, and this cell was a 4, then this would either be 2, because 4 is double 2, or it would be 8, because 8 is double 4. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, in the interests of not thinking about these circles very much, because I don't really understand those, I'm going to think about the green line. Now, there are some secrets we can share about green lines, aren't there? A green line can never... In fact, I could put the 5 in. That can't be right, can it? That just can't. No. So, this cannot be a 5. You can never put 5 on a green line. And the reason for that is the rules of green lines, which tell us that the digits adjacent to each other have to be at least 5 different from one another. And if we go downwards from 5, we get to 0 or negative numbers. And if we go upwards from 5, we get to 10, and that's not a Sudoku number, or higher. So there is no 5 on this line, which means the 5 is definitely in one of 2 places. In box thingy, box 5. Now, okay, so another thing we can think about with a green line is the nature of consecutive digits, having discovered or having concluded there are no 5s on this line, every digit on this line can be parcelled up into one of two categories. It's either going to be a digit that's below 5 or a digit that's above 5. And the crucial thing to realise is that on a German whisper, you can't have two of the same type of digit next to one another. So if this digit is from the lower than 5 bundle, this digit has to be from the higher than 5 bundle, because if it was from the lower than 5 bundle as well, these digits can't be 5 apart. They could only be 3 apart at maximum if they were 4 and 1. So what happens is you get this sort of oscillation effect around the line. Now, why is that interesting? Well, I'm not certain it is interesting, but it makes me think about 4 and 6 as regards this green line. Because 4 and 6 are really hard to place on green lines. Let's think about why. If this, I can put 4 here, it won't be right. If this is 4, what digit could be adjacent to it on the line? Only the digit 9. It's the only Sudoku digit that's sufficiently different. So if you do put 4 in the middle of the line, you have to put 2 9s around on the outside of it and break Sudoku rules. It's the same with 6. If this is a 6, you have to do double 1, and that can't be right either. So what that means is that, well, it means that 4 and 6, if they're on the line, they have to be at the end of the line. But this line is an odd length, which means the two end digits are the same, what I'll call the same polarity. Those digits, I mean, imagine that this was 6. Then this will be high, and this will be high. So it's not possible to put the 4 and the 6 in the 4 and the 6 on the two line ends, because they're from different polarities. One is above 5, one is below 5. So in fact, what we've just learnt is that these digits are from 4, 5 and 6. One of them definitely being a 5, and either 4 or 6 is at a line end. Therefore, either one of those cells is a 1 or a 9. This is not going to get me anywhere, is it? I'm going to have to think about these hit circle thingies. Right, let me reread the rules about the hit circles. So the hit circles, oh yes, it's this, how many cells in a row are their correct distance? We've actually got two opposite each other here. So we've got a top digit and a bottom digit. So, oh, well, imagine, it doesn't work here, but imagine that had been a 5. It would have counted towards two circles, wouldn't it? It would have been correct from the top and correct from the bottom. So 5, no, that's a silly point. Yeah, so, okay, that's quite interesting, actually. So you can't, there isn't the possibility, I don't know what I'm thinking, but I've just had this thought, so I will share that with you. On any side of this diagram, so look at the blue ones up here, you can't add these 3 circles to more than 9. I think. So that what I'm claiming is that those 3 digits are no more than 9. And that is for this reason, and it's a pretty obvious reason, but let me just make it. In row 1 of the puzzle, there is 1, 1, and I don't know where it goes. But there's only one of them. So it could only generate a correct hit point count for a maximum of one of these 3 circles. The digit 2 could only be correct in one of these 3 positions. The digit 3 could only be correct in one of these 3 positions. So the total number of correct digits being counted, down these columns is 9, because there's only 1, 1 in this row, only 1, 2 in this row, only run 3 in this row. And these might add up to a lot less than that, but they're capped out at 9. Because imagine this column contained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, actually, that would be impossible because all 3 of these would be 0. 0 is not presumably an allowable. No, the 0 is not allowed, actually. I had to check that. 0 is not allowed because of the counting circles rule. If you did put 0 in a circle, then the digit 0 is meant to appear 0 times in circles, yet you've just put it in a circle, thereby creating a paradox from which you won't recover. Yeah, okay, so this column can't be in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because then this circle clue, if it existed, would have been a 9, and these would all 3 be 0, because obviously none of the 1 in this row could never be in the correct position vis-a-vis these circles. The 2 could never be in the correct position. So there is a maximum for any one side of this puzzle. But okay. Okay, so that also means another thing. How many circles have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a good thing. That is a good thing because that is a number I understand in the context of the thought I just had. These numbers in the circles are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now that's a bit trickier, but the reason I think that must be right is that imagine there was a 5 or a higher digit in a circle. How are we achieving that? Because there are only 4 sides to this diagram. So if you include 5 in a circle, at least one of these sides has 2 5s on it. So let's imagine that those were both 5, just for the sake of exposition. How could that work ever? It can't work, because that's again implying that you've got 10's worth of correct digits in these 3 cells, and we know that these cap out at 9. So you can't use 5 ever. So these are the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, hang on, what does that mean? Yeah, none of them can be 0. There are 10 of them. You can't put 5 or higher in any of them. So they are 1, 2, 3, and 4. And no individual side can be more than 9. And it's not like Sudoku, is it? So you could totally have 2, 2, 2, for example. You know, that would just be saying that there are 6 digits that are correct in these positions. And that's fine. Oh, although, hang on. What's the sum of the squares? It is 16. I should know this, shouldn't I? 16 plus 9 is 25, plus 4 plus 1 is 30. So there are 30. That's almost interesting, you know. So, yeah, that is interesting. So there is a cap here in terms of, we've worked out that the maximum any side's correct hit points. Well, yeah, let me put it a different way. Imagine that every single cell in these perimeters had a circle. Then we know for certain that all the circles would sum to 36, don't we? Because there will be, because there is a 1 in one of these cells, whichever, you know, whichever, say the 1 was here, this circle would get a 1 from this 1, if you see what I mean. So these would always add to 9. The total panoply of circles, if everything was a circle, would add to 9 on each side. So there are 36 correct. 36 is the cap. It is the nature of total hit points in any Sudoku puzzle. But here, we know that the perimeter, the circles that we've put in the perimeter, there's going to be 4 4s, 3 3s, 2 2s, and a 1. So that's catering. So the 4s are giving rise to 16 correct hit points, if you like. 4 4s. So say we say that's a 4, that's a 4, that's a 4, and that's a 4. Then that's 16 correct hit points that we're identifying in those rows and columns. 3 3s, that's 9. 2 2s is 4. 1 1 is 1. Those sum up to 30. And that, therefore, there are 6 degrees. There are 6 possible. There are 6 possible missing hit points. Okay, so now I'm wondering. Now I'm wondering whether the 5 in the middle of the grid has to be there. If you didn't... Oh no, hang on, the 5... No, actually, I'm totally wrong here. I'm totally wrong. Sorry, my brain's gone haywire, hasn't it? No, because a 5 in the middle of the grid is not counted by anything. None of the circles are actually seeing a 5 that would be here. So if you did put 5 in the middle, yeah, that's weird. You're like losing, you know, this collection of digits. If 5 is there, 5 is wrong from this perspective. 5 is not counting from these 3's perspective, because it would be counting if there was a circle here, but because there isn't, it wouldn't be. So you'd lose 4 if you put 5 in the middle. You'd lose 4 of the potential 36 hit points, so you'd be down to 32 hit points. And if that was it is something to do with this, isn't it? Because if that was a 4, yeah, it's definitely to do with it, because this one, oh look, yeah, this is it. We're honing in on this now. Good grief, I mean, this is hard. This is really complicated. I think it's going to be that we can't put 5 in the middle, because it's going to take away too many potential hit points. 5 in the middle takes 4 away, and this being 4 or 6, imagine it's 4 for a moment, then the 4 is not going to be correct here or here, so that takes 2 hit points away. And if it's 6, the 6 isn't correct here or here, so that takes 2 hit points away. Yeah, God, you have to put it all together. This is wrong then, because we worked out earlier that one of these cells is a 4 or a 6. And it doesn't matter. Let's imagine it's this one. If this is a 4 or a 6, from this direction, if it's a 4, it doesn't count. And if it's a 6 from this direction, it doesn't count. And now I've not counted, I've got too many not counting hit points for 30 to be a possible total. For the circles, that's amazing, but it's very difficult. And let me just go through that again. So the maximum total hit points is 36. By putting 5 in the middle, you're losing 4 of those, because none of these circles can possibly see a 5 in its column, in the correct row or column. You know, none of these can be these can be a 5 from the perspective of these. From the perspective of these, none of those can be a 5 if you put a 5 in the middle. So you're losing 4 for this, you're losing 2 for this, whether it's 4 or 6, and you're losing 1 for this, whether it's 4 or 6, or 1 for this, whether it's 4 or 6. And that's 7 of losses. So you could never get to a correct, well, you could never get these to add up to 30. They could maximize out at 29, and that's going to give us our digit. Our first digit, therefore, is we're not putting 5 in the middle. We're putting 5 there. Boom. Okay, that's very clever, ChinStrap and Marty. Very clever. Now, what on earth have we just discovered now? So this 5 is now not doing any damage to anything. It's not preventing a 5 in either this row or this row. Neither is that 4 or 6 doing damage. The 4 or the 6 in one of those will still be doing a little bit of damage. Oh, right. Okay, so here we've got the, whatever it was called, the thingy, the equal split line. So this is a big digit. How do we know this is a big digit? Well, what we're being told is that this segment is the same sum as that segment is the same sum as that segment. And this is 3 different numbers. So the minimum these can be is at 1, 2 and 3. And therefore this has to be at least 6. But we can do much better than that, actually. Because I don't think this can be 6 or 7. Because if it was 7, oh, actually I might be wrong about 7. I'm definitely not wrong about 6. 6 is impossible, because if these add up to 6 and these add up to 6, then those 6 cells add up to 18, which is implausible and mathematically impossible, because they are 6 different numbers. And the triangular number for 6 is 21. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So there's no way they can add up to 18. So that's not a 6. Now 7, unfortunately. No, 7 won't work either. Because then these add up to 21, which is a possible total for 6 different digits, but not if one of them is a 7. Because then the minimum they would add up to is 22 if they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 7. So this 7 is not right either. Now 8 would be 24, which would make those add up to 21 without using 8. So these would have to be 9, 5, 7 probably. Or if this is 9, these add up to 27 and these add up to 18. Sorry, and I'm using the secret there, which is something I only share with my very favourite people. But of course, if you're still with me now, you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret of Sudoku is that any complete box of a Sudoku sums to 45, and that's how I was doing the maths of saying if those added up to 27, those would have to add up to 18. Now, okay, is it that line then? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. How are we meant to do this? I don't know what I'm meant to be doing it. Oh, no, I do actually. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. No, it's to do with middly digits, isn't it, in this column? What do I mean? This thing at the top is an entropic line. So it's got one low digit, which is 1, 2, 3, one medium digit, 4, 5, 6, and one high digit, 7, 8, 9. I've not got a clue what the order is, but that's what it's got. Now, these 3 digits include no middly digits, because we know we've got the 5 here, we've got the 4, 6 here, and one of those ends is a 4, 6. So we've got one middly here, no middlies here, and 2 middlies here. That's beautiful. So it's done. Because that 8 or 9 is definitely not a middly. So these 2 digits are from the middly collection, which is 4, 5 and 6, and yet they add to a single digit number. So they're 4 and 5. That's beautiful. Oh, I was going to try and write 9 in. Right, so one of these is a 6 now. We could put 6 on the dot here. Okay. Yeah, and these 3 digits add up to 9, but they don't use 4 or 5. So this has to be 126, I think. There are 3 ways of getting different Sudoku numbers to add up to 9. 234, well, that's ruled out. 135, well, that's ruled out. And 126. So I think they're 126, and these digits are 378 then. And okay, I don't know what that means. I think I can get the polarity of the whisper now, can't I? And that will be useful. Yeah, that's going to give me the middle digit. Right, so this is what we should do now. In this column, yeah, I've got 1 low digit, 1 of 1, 2, and 3 in this sequence. So I must have 2 of the digits 1, 2, and 3 along that whisper stretch, and that tells me that they must, because they can't be together, they must be in those 2 cells. If they were together, they wouldn't be sufficiently different from one another. So these 3 here are all low digits, which is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Can't put 4 in any of those. And then these digits are going to be high digits, so they're going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. And now the middle digit is a 4 and... oh, that didn't clear any fog. I thought it would, but it didn't. Okay. Well, we know that the 6 has to be in one of these. So we know that there's a 1 next to it in one of those 2. So this middle digit isn't a 1. Yeah, okay. So how does that work then? The answer is I'm not sure yet. That's not a 9. So 1 of 7 and 8 is up there. 1 of these is 6 next to a 1. And then, so, oh dear, I can't see how to do this. I'm sorry. Is it obvious? It probably is. Or, oh, it could be the hit point thingies as well. The hit point thingies might be a thing we have to consider. Possibly. I don't know. What I was thinking is, do I know anything about 7 on this whisper? Because 7, if we think about the digits it can neighbour on a whisper, it can be 1 and 2 only. You could never put 7 next to a 3. Now, but if this was 3, that could be 8, 9, couldn't it? These would be 1 and 2, and these would be 6 and 7. I don't think there's a problem with that. Bobbins. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure how to do that. Right, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I know that digit, don't I? Might be wrong, but I think I do. I don't think any of the first 6 cells of this line are correctly positioned vis-a-vis this cell here. 9, that's the wrong distance. There's not a 2 there, there's not a 3 there, there's not a 4 there, there's not a 5 there, there's not a 6 there. There couldn't be a 7 there, actually, because that would be on the black dot. Oh, that's it. It's much more straightforward then, isn't it? So actually what you have to do is count this hit point possible total. It's not a 0. None of the first 7 cells could be correct. The final cell can't be correct because it can't be a 9. So the only one that can be correct is that, and that is a 1, I think. And then this is an 8 in the correct position. And now this is a 7, and that's not on the line end. So it certainly can't go next to a 3. So that's got to be a 2. That's got to be a 1. So this has got to be 6, because we know 6 is at one end of the line. And this digit's a 3. Oh no, I thought that was going to clear fog. Oh, bobbins. Oh, okay. Okay, it's still fine. We've still got, there's still some things that we've learnt that I haven't used yet. Because these 2 digits now are 3 and 6, I think, from the column. And that's going to tell us that this black dot is a 3-6 pair. Now, okay, so, right, oh, I tell you something cool. I've found the 1. So none of these other thingies are 1s. Oh, this is lovely. It's really weird, but lovely. Because we've had our 1, 1 in a circle. So this one has to get to at least 2. Oh, the 9 is correct for this one. Ooh, right, yeah, okay, this is a 2, I think. And the reason I think this is a 2 is it can't be a 1. And it could get a correct 3 here, but nothing else will. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nothing else could possibly be correct. So that's a 3. That's a 6. That's a 6. Okay, cleared fog, so it was clearly along the right lines. This is a 2, or maybe it's the oh no! And you can't use Sudoku on that, because it's perfectly possible for these to be 2s. Bobbins. That's really surprised me, actually. I was convinced that what have I not done? I mean, because there's nothing here. Oh, no, there isn't. I mean, if you look at the comedy wings of this grid, I've got 3 columns in columns 1, 2, 3, where I've got a 6. I've got 3 columns in columns 7, 8, 9, where I've got absolutely El Zippo. What on earth are you meant to do here? Sorry, I'm sure some of you are able to see what to do. It can't be, I mean, I can see that 6 can't be correct for these 3. So these 3 can't add up to 9. So, okay, let's say they added up to 8. Those could add up to 5. That's 13. I've got to get to 30 overall. So I need. Ooh. Well, that's it. Okay, all right. That's tricky but beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, so this is really tricky. But we know that the hit points add up to 30. So what I was thinking is, how is that going to be distributed around these sides? This is why the sides are coloured. It's to make you think about this. Knowing that we can't, for example, we couldn't put 3 4s into those, because we can't make any one side add up to more than 9. Now this side is even more restricted than that, because the 6 can't be in any of those 3 positions and be 6 away. So the maximum size for those is 8 now. The maximum size of these would be a 1 and a 4, so that's 5. That gets us to 13. The maximum size of this is 9. Well, that gets us to 22. And what do those have to be then? They have to be double 4. They have to be double 4. These have to be, let's just be careful here. I think they have to be Yeah, they have to be a 3-4 pair. Because they have to add up to 9, the blue ones, and I can't see another way of doing it. I can't put 2 and 5 in, for example. That just won't work. So these ones add up to 8. I'm going to put, oh, how am I going to do it? I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a little 8 here to try and remind me about that. And okay, that has to be a 4. That is also a truth. And that didn't clear any fog. All of those deductions cleared 0 fog, which is distressing in the extreme. I mean, wow, okay. What on earth do you do now then? No. Do you have to sort of label? Oh, I do know what you do. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm going to lose some colours here. I was wondering whether what I should do. Yeah, this is what I should do, isn't it? I should label correctly coloured digits. So from this direction it was the 8, which was yellow. Now what that's making me think, look at the blue. Now I know the blue adds up to 9, these 3 circles, which means that the 1 has to be in one of those cells, doesn't it? That has to be. I don't know how to do this. Maybe because I could pencil mark it like that, but that's a cross box as a pencil mark, and I hate doing that. The 2 can't be there, so it has to be in one of those 2. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I should go 1's there, 2's there. The 3 is correct, so that's fine. 4 is not correct, so 4 is in one of those cells. 5's in one of these cells. 6's has got to be in one of these cells. 7's got to be in one of these cells. 8's got to be in one of these cells. I mean, it's okay, so that's not an 8. That's a weird deduction. But because one of those has to be a correct 8 from the perspective of these clues, I can take 8 out of that cell. But I don't have a clue what to do with that. Right. Okay, but we can do. Okay, I can do the same sort of thing with green, can't I? Because for green, I know that the digits add up to 8, but I actually know the bad digit for green. The bad digit is 6, which can never be correctly placed. So everything... Ah, this is great. Everything else for green is correctly placed. In particular... no, it doesn't quite work. Well, in particular, 1 is correctly placed. See, if that was a 1, then I would know this was a 1. Then one of these would be a 1. Oh, okay. It's still being recalcitrant, isn't it? Oh, I've thought of something else. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit here, but forgive me. I've had 3 4s in circles. I know one of those is a 4, because these had to add to 7, so none of these can be a 4. So these add up to 8. 2 of them are a 3, and 1 of them is a 2. That's the only way we're going to be able to do that. Yeah, okay, and that's going to get us to the correct count, isn't it? Because we have 1 2 here, 1 2 in green, 1 3 in blue, and 2 3s in green. Wow, okay. So, okay, let's carry on with green pencil marking then. I've got to put a 2 in one of those three. I mean, it's appalling. It's so difficult. I mean, look, I've now got a 2 here that's relating to those two and a 2 here that's related to these three. It's just, I don't think this is going to work. 3 is either there. That would be a useful 3. Oh, wait a sec. It's not actually there. Because I have got a 3 in this row already. So 3 is either here or here. Oh, okay. What? No. All right. Let's do 4. I can actually. No, I can't. I can't. Where's 4? But I know 4 isn't there. So this one doesn't get a 4. So 4 is in one of those two. So that's not a 4. And 5 isn't here. And 5 has to be correct. So 5 isn't there. So there's a 5 in one of those, a 4 in one of those. 6 is never correct. There's a 7 here or here. 8 can't be there, but 8 could be there or there. And 9, oh, 9 can't be there. So 9 is in one of two places up here. Which, I don't know what that does. I haven't got a clue. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to change tack again. And I am going to claim, for purple's perspective, 5 is now not a valid digit. Because this not being able to be 5 has stopped me getting a correct 5 for the pink colour. Pinkle, as sometimes it's known. But that means that everything else has to be correct vis-a-vis this colour. So there is a 1 in one of those two positions. There is a 2 in one of these two positions. There is a 3 in one of those two positions. Well, okay, that's good. Where's 4? It can't go there. That's a digit. Thank goodness for that. That's a 4. Therefore, that's a 5. Okay, that I don't know if that's done something. That's correct. That 4 is a correct digit from the perspective of this colour. Now 5 we know can't be correct. So 6 has to be correct, and that can't be correct. So this is a 6 that's correct. It's really clever, this. It is very, very beautiful. It's just not very easy. Now 7 has to be correct. I've got this weird 7 pencil mark for this column, but 7 is in that cell or that cell. 8 has to be correct. And 9 has to be correct. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Is this somehow resolving anything at all? Yeah, I don't know is the answer. I just don't know. I'm not even sure how to do this. I'm wondering about colours, and then I'm wondering about maybe circles might be a way to try, because I'm trying to keep track of what I've got going on in the various parts of the grid where these these pencil marks are not helping me. I'm very sorry if you can all see what they mean, but they are not helping me. I'm tempted to take them out. Well, I have taken them out. Okay. Now, what, if anything, am I allowed to do as a result of... let's go back to the original. So we know that one of these is a 1. So if I put a circle in these, one of these is a 2, 3, one of these is a 4, one of these is a 5, one of these is a 6, one of these is a 7, and one of these is an 8. And maybe now if I pencil mark them, it will make more sense. I'm not saying it's going to make a great deal of sense, but that at least is it might just guide my eyes to the correct position, correct thing. Okay, now we then looked at green, didn't we? And we understood that we could think about green because this 6 wasn't available. So we know that green has a correct 1, I think, in one of those 3 positions. So I would like to go to green and put 1 into those. And green needs a correct 2. So green has a correct 2 in one of these. And green has a correct 3. Now where's that? See, that's going to partly go here. And I can't, oh bother, I can't do that. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't even know. Maybe I'll just try and remember green 3 is in that cell or that cell. Unless there's a way we can tell, that would be really handy, wouldn't it? I don't think there is, but I might be wrong. Okay, green 4 I know is in one of these. Green 5 is in one of these. Green 6 is out of bounds. Green 7 is in one of those. Green 8, I think, oh no, green 8 can't go there by Sudoku. Oh, actually, hang on, that's good. Green 8 can't go there. That's harder to see, but this doesn't, I don't know why. I've taken 8 out of this cell. Oh gosh, that's hard. So that's because I've got the blue 8 looking at this. So if green 8 was correct here, you couldn't put 8 in this box. So green 8 is not correct there, and that is green. Oh, I've got another thingy as a result of that. That's okay. That's really good news because I didn't know what we were going to do. Okay. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, I'm going to sort of. I think I could have pencil marked green 9 as well, but I'm actually not going to because I can do something with this. I think because I need to have a middly digit on this entropic line, which means a 4, 5, or a 6. Well, I can't put 5 and 6 on it, so I have to put 4 on it somewhere. But I have 4s in one of those 2 positions, which is necessary for my blue clues at the top. So this has to be the 4. Yes. Now that's not a 4 anymore then. Let's get rid of. So that is correct vis-a-vis the. That's a blue correct. Okay. I've got a new green line that's emerged that seems to have a lot of overlap with green. Okay. I wonder if this is something I'm supposed to do right now. I'm tempted to try. No, that's a silly deduction. I'm not doing that. Oh, sorry, there's a siren going off outside. Okay. What do we think we can do now then? I don't know. It's the short answer. How do we do this? is it going to be? I tell you what, it's not easy. It really, I don't think it is anyway. What do we think? How on earth are you meant to do this? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I don't even know where to look, really. Did us getting an 8 here help with anything else? It's going to mean there's an 8 in one of those cells, which I don't think is going to be very crucial. I've got a 2 in one of these, haven't I? So I've got 2 in one of a few places in box 2. It's really difficult to pencil mark this puzzle. It's just, that's the thing I'm struggling with the most, is trying to keep track of like the correct pencil marks in 4 different directions. I just don't know how to do it. And I'm getting a bit overwhelmed by trying to keep track of it. Okay. I don't know. How do I do this? What? Okay, maybe I've got to go back to thinking about pink. I've not done anything with pink for a little while. Now pink, there was some digit. Yeah, 5 was the digit that pink couldn't get, wasn't it? So okay. So if pink needs to have a correct 1, which is in one of those 2 cells, and either one of those is interesting. If it's here, that's doing the job for blue as well as pink. But if it's there, then blue needs to have a 1 here. And that would put a 1 in one of those cells, and a 1 in one of these cells. That might be fine, I don't know. And then 2 has to be correct, doesn't it? So 2, that I can put in. 2 is either there or there. 3 has to be correct. So 3 is either here or here. 5 can't be correct. 6 we've worked out. 7 is either here or here. 8 has to be correct, so it's either here or here. And 9 has to be correct, so it's in one of those 2 positions. If I could get it onto the whisper, that would be handy, because then I'd know the polarity of the whisper line. But I don't think I know how to do it. I might be wrong. And I know I'm missing pencil marks here. I'm missing 3s in the pencil marks for the greens. I'm missing 1s in the pencil marks for the pinks. And I'm missing, I can't remember what, in the pencil mark for the blues. And I've not fully pencil marked the yellows at all. I don't think. Okay. How on earth do you do this? I know Marty's laughing at me, and I deserve it. I deserve it fully. What do we think we have to do here? I almost want to look away from it and then look back a few minutes later and see whether or not my brain has cleared and it's all become clearer. Or can I learn more from the sort of meta logic than I've learnt already? Is there some way to do better with that? at the moment in green, I don't seem to know the correct thing about anything. At least I don't think I do. What about yellow? I just don't think yellows can possibly be interesting, can it? I know I've got to get 4 correct yellows in this column, but I think I could get any number. I mean, what's ruled out? I suppose that might be a good question. Oh, actually, or is it this entropic line? I've not given this as much thought as perhaps I could have done. It's got to have a low digit on it, doesn't it? And from green's perspective, there is a 2 in one of those. So this can't be a 1. So this, if this was the low digit, it would be a 3. If this was the low digit, I think it could be 2 or 3. And it's got to have a high digit on it as well. Now, is there any restriction on that? That restriction is going to be delivered by, in this column, pink needs an 8 in one of those. So this can't be an 8. So that could be 7 or 9. And there's a 9 in one of these. So that's 7 or 8. I mean, it's just... I mean, I suppose what you learn from that, or which we could have learned a different way, is that... Oh, actually... Okay, here's a tiny point regarding column 9. None of those can deliver a correct yellow. That can't be a 6, that can't be a 5, and the reason this can't be a 5 is because of my blue in one of those. This can't be a 4 because of this 4, so none of those can be correct. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. Is there something else we can rule out from yellow as a result of... I mean, that is almost interesting, isn't it? In the sense that if the ends of this whisper in box 3 were both low, they wouldn't be correct. Yeah, and that 8 wouldn't be correct. Oh, that's it. I mean, that's it. That's so clever. I mean, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for my inanity and insanity and uselessness. But it's beautiful when you see it. It's just hard to see. I mean, I never thought this 4 could possibly be of any relevance at all. But look at this column, and think about what happens if these 2 digits are both low. Well, then clearly this needs to be a 7 to be correct. This needs to be a 9 to be correct. So if these are both low, they neither count. That can't be an 8 by Sudoku. So these don't count. These don't count. So the maximum count would be 3, but it's a 4 clue. So these have to be low on the high on the whisper to allow the possibility for at least one of them to count. And maybe both of them will count. I don't know. But now this digit is 1, 2, or 3. Oh, surely that does something. I mean, it's interfering with so many circles. It's not 2 because of the blue. Oh, this is... Oh, it's nearly it. Nearly. If that was a 3, these would... Oh, no. That is it. That is it. If this is a 3... These have to be an 8, 9 on the whisper, and look which way round they go. 8 would be at the top, wrong from the perspective of yellow. 9 would be here, wrong from the perspective of yellow, and again you couldn't reach the correct count, so this is a 1. Didn't clear, well, it didn't clear fog, but it does mean that that is not the blue 1 anymore. So the blue 1 is here. That was correct. It was hard earned. It was very hard to earn that digit. So 1 is now in one of 2 places. Look, in box thingy, box 2. We can get rid of this circle, which is a green circle. So that's looking at the 2. 2's position in this column, which has now gone down to just 2 places, but unfortunately way across boxes again. Okay, that's all right though. But didn't... Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 3 had to be correct, didn't it? In this, from perspective of green. Now this can't be a 3, so this could be a 3, or this is a 3. Which is nearly very interesting. I don't quite know how to deal with that, but there probably is something I'm meant to distill from it. Yeah, okay, here's a different point. Wasn't it true that pink had to have a 9 in one of these 2 positions? I think it was. So that's seeing this cell and forcing this to be a 7. Which means this is not a 7. This is not a 7. That 7 is removing the possibility of a green 1, I think. So green 1 is... Oh, green 1 can't be there, because this is a 1. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, so where's green 1? Green 1 has to be here. And that was correct. So there's a 1 now in one of those cells by Sudoku. Okay, so that 1 is correct vis-a-vis yellow and correct vis-a-vis green. It's got 2 corrects. The 7 is correct vis-a-vis yellow. This could be a correct 9. And okay, goodness knows what we do next. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Right, so let's think again, like we did last summer. What do you think? So I've got... It's like you've got these weird X-wings that it's very hard to keep track of. Yeah, it's so difficult. I just don't know what I'm doing here, do I? No, I don't think you do know that, Simon. I know one of these is an 8. So 8... No, that's not even true, is it? So 8's actually got 3 positions in box 3. Wow. Does it... Oh. No. Okay, right, hang on. That's correct vis-a-vis pink as well. That's a correct pink 1. Now, does that matter? Not really. I still need to put a pink 2 in one of those. Which is probably important for some reason I have no idea about. It would be quite... well... I mean, really, anywhere it was would be quite nice. Okay. So hang on. 1, 2. I still need 2 more, don't I? So the 2 more yellows that have to be correct are either a 2 and a 3 here. I don't think that's possible. We know, okay, we know none of those are correct vis-a-vis yellow. And I know this, so in terms of yellow, all of those are definitely wrong. I've got 2 that are correct, and I've got 2 of these 3 exactly to be correct. Now, what I'm thinking is, if this was a 2-3 pair, completing the yellow clue, 2 here, 3 here, then this mustn't be a 9, but it would have to be a 9, because one of these is a 9 from the perspective of pink. So this is not a 2-3 pair, and therefore, in order to reach a count of 4, this is always a 9. Which means that is not a 9, and that is a pink, and we can get rid of its circle. Now, that's, yeah, okay. So now, if I'm correct about that, that felt logical. These cells do include 9, and it looks like I've pencil marked them to within an inch of their lives. So this is now a 5 or a 9, this is a 4 or a 9, this is 1 5 or 9, and this is 1 4 or 9. So they are a quadruple, and these cells have to be 2 and 7 by a process known as Sudoku. Now, if these are 2 and 7, is this telling me where pink's 7 is the thing I'm wondering. Because pink, what was the incorrect pink digit? It was 5, wasn't it? So 7 has to be correct for pink, and now can't be here. So I think that has to be a 7. That was correct. Now the weird thing about that 7, though, is it's correct for blue and pink, because it's row 7, column 7. So that's distressing in a way. I almost didn't want that to happen, but it did happen, and we will beggars cannot be choosers. So we will accept that. Now either one of these is correct, isn't it? Only one of them. So either this is a 2 or this is a 3, but not both. That's probably meant to do something. Okay, so my 4 clues nearly finished now as well. That's an interesting point. No jokes about me at parties, but that is true. Yeah, okay, so I have to be... Yeah, none of these are correct now, vis-a-vis the 4 clue. And that can't be correct. So vis-a-vis the 4 clue, exactly 2 of those 3 are correct. And the 2 can't be, the 2 can't be correct. That cannot be a 2 because of this 2. Right, so that's become a 2 from the perspective of thingy. Oh, hang on, there's another line that's appeared there. This is now a 2. This is a 1. So 2 is in one of those 2 cells, which is probably mattering. He says, I don't know why. Yeah, that is huge. That is huge, isn't it? I have seen why. I've understood why. Oh, hang on. There's loads. It's all kicking off. It is all kicking off because now my 4 clue on this side is correct. Because I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's everything. So the other ones I have to get from the top row. So that's got to be 3, which is correct. That's got to be 8, which is correct, I think. Now I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. These are correct. So these clues are done. I can sort of tick them off. I don't know how to do that, but I can. They're done. That's done. But I've thought of something else which I think is going to matter. Because I've got a 2 in one of these, the 2 here, which was a potential correct for the yellow 4, is now not correct. So I think that has to be 3 in order to provide a correct the fourth correct yellow, if you like, in this column. And unfortunately, I thought that might clear fog, but it decided not to. In its naughty way. So this is correct. This is now correct. So we're getting there very slowly indeed. But forgive me for that. Okay, we can do a little bit of Sudoku maybe. That's a 4 or a 5. Oh, yeah, we can. Where's 4 in the top row? There. That's 5. Right. Now this can't be 5. So the blue 5 has to be there, I think. And that did clear fog again, which is a terrific thing. So this is not 5. This is 5. It is blue. It was correct from the perspective of this clue. Who knows what any of this means? It is very hard to know. I've got a 1 pencil marked in those cells. I don't know if that's right. I've got a 6 pencil marked here. What about this row then? 5, 8, 9. That's 8 or 9. 5, 8, 9. 5 or 9. Ugh. Okay, so there's definitely an 8 in one of those two cells. Let's put that in. That matters. If that's true, because that can't be an 8 then, and I needed a correct blue 8, so that's now moved right over here. I love it when it actually is correct. It feels like you've really won the lottery. Yeah, okay, it was, well, nearly. Okay, so what does that mean? Don't know yet, but we probably can do some more magic, can't we? Yeah, this 2 is doing some work at the top, so that's 2, that's 7, that's 8 now. So I've got a 3, 7 pair. Oh, the 8, 9 in the middle is done. Right, so this has become a 4 by Sudoku, so that's a 1. This is a 5, 9 pair. I mean, it's an untidy 5, 9 pair, but it is. Now, that 4 or something here was meant to be giving rise to a correction, wasn't it? Was it the 4 for this one? Yeah. So that 4 is a green correct. And we can get rid of its surroundings. Yeah, it could be something to do with, you know, correctly counting these 3. Can only have a maximum of 1 more correct in this column, because I've already got 3 corrects. So it's not possible for this to be 2 and this to be 6. That would be greedy from the perspective that would make this glue a 5, which is not going to work. Right. So where do we look now? Don't know. I'm not sure. Is it? Well, it's normally Sudoku, isn't it, when I get stuck? So I should think about that. Or I shouldn't completely neglect it. There's a 4 in one of those cells. This row, perhaps? I have got 5 digits in it. So 2, 4, 5, 9. So, ooh, yeah, that's a naked. I mean, that's hard. That's a naked single. It sees 5, 9. Oh, hang on. And 4. Yeah, so that's got to be a 2. That's got to be important, hasn't it? Yeah, that is really important. Because that means this is not the blue 2, but more in fact, well, which means this is. That's great. So let's give this a correct. I think if you knew how to notate this puzzle, it would be far easier than I'm finding it. But that 2 is not this can't be the green 2 anymore. So that's got to be the green 2. Which we should therefore make green. That seems logical. That is not a 2. And I don't know what that's doing, but it's probably good. So 5, 7, 9 into these cells. Let's label that up. This isn't 5. 5 is here, so this is 5, this is 9. So this is 9, that cleared fog, which is absolutely splendid. Now, I've got to be careful here, because I had that circled, and that's for the green 7 that is still unresolved. But I found a green 5 that has been resolved, and I haven't put 4 in this row, so I would like to do that. And now these squares have got to be a 3, 6 pair, and I know the order, which is fantastic. Right, now what do we do? So now it's going to be the tiebreaker. The 6 is the tiebreaker between whether this is 4 and this is 3, or which way round they go. And what about these two then? So what's correct vis-a-vis these clues? The 3's correct. How long's that been correct for? Don't know. The 3 and the 4 are correct. The 9, the 8, the 7 could be correct. Okay, and in this row, oh, hang on, that's interesting. The 8 and the 9 are correct. So that is a 3. It can't be more than 3. But that means these are a 2, 3 pair, because these had to add up to 8. I've already got 2 in this one. What about this column then? 1, 6, 9. So that's a naked single. That's got to be 6. So this is a 1, 9 pair. And surely, yeah, so this isn't the 6 that we're looking for. That's the 6 we're looking for, and it was correct. Whoa, right. So that's blue 6. That is a 4. That's a 3. These are both wrong from the perspective of blue, but I don't mind that. Let's try and tidy up the pencil marks. That's no longer a 9. And presumably, so these two clues are both done now. So it's only the 2 and the 3 here that we have to resolve. So it's going to be dependent on which one is a 7 and anything else that might be under the fog. And there could be more. There's quite a lot of fog. I've not managed to clear that. 9 is doable. 9, 1. 9 is in this domino. 1 is in this domino. 4 is placed in box. That's 4. That's 1. Now, these cells surely are where we look now. 5 and 7 is it again? Okay, well that's good because that makes this 3. Now we know this needs 1 of each entropy, so I'm going to make that an 8. Now this row has not had 2, 7 or 9. So that's the 7. This is the 2. This is the 9. These squares are 3 and 8, which we can do. 3, 8. This is 8 now. I'm going to use my pencil marks. It's unlike me to do that, but I am. Oh, chance of a 3 in the corner. There's a 3, 4 pair here, I think. Now, what now? Maybe column 2? 5, 6, 7? Yeah, there's only one place for 6 in the column. Oh, there's some line. There's some line that's emerging here. Okay, what are those digits? 2 and 6. Yeah, we can do it. 6, 2. So this column, 7 is doing the work. 7, 5. This column needs a 4. This is a 5, 9 pair. And that 5 is very nice. So that's 9. That's 5. That's 9. Oh, okay, there's another line that's coming out. And I still don't know how to solve this. Oh no, I haven't got a 3 in the corner. I've got a 4 in the corner. 4, 3, 3, 7. This digit is a 1. And this digit is 5 or 7. I've got a deadly pattern, which must be resolved by this thing, whatever this thing is doing. because I know one of these is a 7 to make these correct. Now, okay, one thing is I think this line is joined up, because if it wasn't, well, it must be joined up. Where's this segment ending? It's going to include this cell because there's no circle I can see. So it's going to add up to a double-digit number. And there's nothing over here. So, yeah, okay, I do see what this is doing. I think what it's doing is saying, this line, is this a complete line? Let's try and draw it like this. And it's got to have some segments on it. Now, it's not possible, you know, to have 3 segments on this line, because these add up to at least 10. So we'd have to include those 2, and then those 2 wouldn't add up to enough. So that this line is divided into 2 segments, and we can see that the segment break has to be under the fog here. So these 3 are meant to add up to the same as these 3, but these are 2 less than these. So the only way we can make equality is to make this the 7 and this the 5. And that's exactly how it works. And now this will be 5 and this will be 7. And that's rather nice, because that's going to allow us to finish this clue, because this is in the correct position vis-a-vis this clue. So that's got to a count of 3. That's got to be a 2. And if that isn't the correct solution, I'm going to go and have a stiff gin and tonic. That is a fantastic puzzle. Yes. that was very, very cool. That's another long video. It was a long video yesterday. I'm so sorry if you don't like the long videos. We had a very nice email from somebody overnight saying how much they enjoy the longer videos. Oh, that's a couple of them in a row. I'm sorry about that. I'll try and find a few that are a little bit less punchy. But I mean, what can we say? We seek the best puzzles in the world, and if anyone is going to try and claim to me that that is not one of the world's best puzzles, well, you're going to have a tough argument on your hands, because it quite clearly is. ChinStrap and Marty Sears, take a bow. That was fantastic. And let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.